Hello, 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 Belle. Hello, love. Sorry, that's my favorite song. How we doing tonight? I'm doing good. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, that's to you to love. This is so tired. Oh, I love you. Hello, Belle. How are you? Oh, you remember you can have that conversation with her. Mm. Game. Yeah. What's up? Oh, is that Dr. Lego showing up? What's up, Dr. Lego? We're doing good. Yes, we are. Thank you for asking. Glad you're doing well. How are the birds? How are the birds? Hope the birds are doing good. Dr. Lego says, hey, 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 your Lego collection is amazing. I don't know why. Song's always been better. Maybe if the music's too loud, y'all. I can always turn it down. DW, what's up? Yes, tell Mr. Raz. Rage cleaning, so the music is a vibe. Why are we rage cleaning? Why are we raging and cleaning? How? What is a rage clean? I never understood what is rage cleaning? Like, is that what that is? Ah. Ah. See, I just call it cleaning. Today was a Monday. I feel you. I feel you. But like I said, she explained it and it makes perfect sense. I just call that cleaning. I mean, oh yeah, it's just cleaning. God damn, Gina. Wow. Oh, you had to deal with. I'm sorry. I feel your pain. I deal with them on a daily basis. Listen. The VA is a legitimate reason why socialized healthcare will never work in the United States. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. It's the perfect example. I wish we could have things, but we can't. It's just, that's the perfect example. And she's a doctor. She's telling you, it's atrocious. Atrocious. Anyway, digressing, focusing, back. Ooh, hit a nerve on that one, Dr. Lego. I tell you. I'm telling you, I wish somebody could. I wish somebody would. It's rough. Woo. Anyway. Now you're gonna again. I just call it cleaning. And so, but we have it broken down for us, so our house is good. You sent me a shard of hope. That's kind of hilarious. Participated in your son's karate class today. Ooh, I bet you tired. So get this. I don't know exactly what kind, but for a while, my mini-me, she did kung fu, and I ended up. I got played. I said when she made black belt, I would join the class with her. I didn't realize that to get like she had to go through a thing like 3 times. Well, she ended up getting a black stripe, a black stripe after she went through all these other colors. So I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's and no. So I ended up joining, and I was getting up there pretty good, and then I had to take a break because my body just started breaking down. Yeah, it was. And then we just never went back. But that was fun. It's good stuff. Good exercise. I hope they enjoy it. Those squats. That was one of the leg squats. Oh, yeah. The bird pixies here. Ready? Oh, hang on. They're doing May Free from Moms. Oh, absolutely. But I bet it was. But it was good for you. That's awesome. Okay, ready? This song. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. Hopefully it's hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully it's a good one. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pixie. Birthday to you. Whoop-a-doo. Whoop-a-whoop. Whoop-a-whoop. Dear Pixie. Whoop-a-whoop. There we go, a little birthday tunage right there. How about them? How about them apples, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, my Lord. And then you know what? How about this? Little birthday rune right there.
Rune Danon, Crown Prince of the Valbaran
It's just being princess. It's just about to play us out. A cake for Pixie! Yay, yay, yay! All right, and then Pixie, what is your birthday button? You get a free birthday button. You get to pick the button, whichever one you want. You get to pick the birthday button. You've got the blonde boys, the blonde girls, the mug shots, the Riddick, the buzzard, the Mandalorian. I almost said the Mandalorian. You got a choice, anyone. Just pick which one you want. Rune and that water glass. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Mookie Betts is coming back. Nice. All right. How is everybody doing? Oh, there's P. Yay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. All right. We are gonna... Ooh. Oh, look at the little celebration. That was cool. She wants the Minorian. Here we go. This one is a happy birthday to Pixie. Of rhyme. Some of that I actually rhymed out on beat. I'm not gonna lie. Some of that was pretty cool. Happy birthday, Pixie. I am happy you made it another trip around the sun, and here is to many, 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 many more. Woo! Just popping in for funsies. Hubs and I are about to hit up some Borderlands. Awesome, 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 awesome. Enjoy, enjoy. Woo! Excuse me. Oh, she was. P, you checking out the shopping cart that somebody we know just kind of maybe had some inspiration on? Or is that the one we're talking about? Oh, that is the one. It's a beautiful shopping cart. It's beautiful. Be careful. Be careful. She pull you in. She pulls. I'm telling you. Listen. It starts with listen. I'm just telling you. This is what happens with her. It starts with one. It just starts with one outfit. And then you're like, this is the most whimsical and best feeling I've ever had. And then next thing I'm just telling, it's not a bad thing. I'm warning you. Okay? I'm just warning you. What's up?
What?
I was seeing what shirt you had on.
Oh.
So, anyway, she's saving me. I've been trying to put these outfits together I got boonie ears. Oh, hey, listen, no, she can do it, but I'm just telling you, once you get it, you want to dress like it all the time, like for forevers, and then you'll be having a whole new wardrobe. And
But see,
and then the wardrobe ends up on
now
the foot of the
she's
bed.
got some good pieces that we can layer onto and make.
See how it turns into a whole thing?
More looks with.
This is now an unprosticization project. Okay, sorry.
You should tell them about the time yesterday when we played categories and you spelled email wrong, but Aaliyah could read it fine.
Let's not talk about what are you talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so all right. So this is why I asked early. Okay, I mean you got it. I got you. No, that's good. So for Mother's Day yesterday, we all made breakfast together and stuff. 3 more pieces. Wow. I love. You got to send pics. We got to see. We got to have fit checks when you get all the pieces in. If we have to, we will have a what are they called? Catwalk. Pee in a catwalk. What are they called? Fucking
A
fashion show. P will have a fashion show. We'll get up on into Discord or something, and then she can and then there we go. Fashion show.
VP's Scotland fantasy.
There you go. Okay. So yeah. Okay, now back to the story she wanted me to tell. Sorry. So yeah, we made the breakfast, right? And together, and then we watched some movies, and that was fun. And then we played games, okay? And then we played categories. Y'all remember categories, right? They get a bunch of things on the card. You roll a die, you get a letter, and you gotta like things found in an office, right? Things found in an office. And you roll on a letter, and it's like E. So, things would be like an envelope, an escalator, an elevator, an elephant ear plant. Email, you know what I mean? Just don't play those games, right? So it was E, and I think it was like things on a computer or things in an office or something. Things in an office. So I put email. But see, again, I have a doctor's handwriting. No offense, Dr. Lego. But I have to write very, very small. If you let me write small and I take my time, it's very beautiful, but it's very blocky. Okay, but it takes me forever. But anyway, I wrote it. I wrote it out, and then when it was time to say it, it was like I couldn't
read it.
I couldn't read my own writing, so. Our youngest, the one with diagnosed dyslexia, said, "I got you, Dad," and said, "Oh, that shit says email, my guy." I mean, she didn't say shit because she doesn't curse. We try to get her, but she won't. But she's like, but she goes, "Yeah, email," and I'm like, "God damn, she can read my own handwriting." And
It was great.
And then when that made Liz look at it, she goes, "Yeah, you moved the A, the I, and the L all up in the wrong place. So I had the E and the M, and then it was like LIA, or I don't know. It was pretty bad." I'm part of that 54% of America who doesn't have a sixth grade. Yeah, the A and the. I'm part of that 54% of America who is at a 6th grade literacy level. But I have a legitimate reason. It's okay. I have a legitimate reason. But I'm trying to fix it now. It probably makes sense why I had such a hard time learning German too. You added extra letters up in that bitch. You added umlauts. We had 26 letters, umlauts. They still had that sharp BS letter and the fucking Ausfahrt. I'm just saying. No, not at all. She has a talent for Michael Scott. The young, yeah. I don't think anybody has. Liz is the only one that can do anything with another language. Yeah, she can speak German. I know a little bit. I know enough to get her in trouble. Used to know more, but then I forgot. But anyway, yeah. So, where do we go off with that one? Anyway.
Enjoy.
Yeah, you're leaving. She's leaving me, folks. She's leaving me. All right. So just so you know what. Little man has said like 10 different new words today. That's awesome, Em.
Oh, yeah.
That's legit. That's legit.
Wordy king. I like it.
Nice. King that communicates. That's what she said. So, how many of y'all were able to see the reaction video today with the behind the scenes conversation of me and Liz? That was hilarious, right? She said, took you long enough. Hey. Listen, my little one, my youngest one, it takes her so long. It takes her so long. And then when she finally catches on, then she flies past everybody. She just like me. She takes a little bit longer. I have receptive language. I can see. I'm like that, Belle. Like I can understand when my wife starts speaking German to her family. Like I can understand. Like, excuse me. Good googly moogly. Like every third or fourth word, I still know almost, and I know enough of them where once I know like enough, I can put the sentences together. But is like when I was stationed there, no, I wasn't fluent. That was like 60% fluent. Now I'd probably say I'm like 30, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. Bella, can you do like anything else like Swedish, Norwegian, or anything? You know, like any other at all? Off, soap, scrub, tree. That's good stuff, Em. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. You're not having to clean the mouth out with soap and stuff. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, this new diet is still getting me. It's still getting me. I don't know what to do. Help, I'm new. I don't know what to do. All right. Okay, so we have, what do we have tonight? We've got 66 through the epilogue. I think that's like 66, 67, 68, 69, and then the epilogue, I believe. I think there's 5. That's not too bad. And then we're done. I'm not gonna lie, before we get, I'm gonna be kind of sad the series is over. I'm not gonna lie. I've grown really fond of all the characters. It's a good one. I will say. I will say. One thing I will say I like now again. What's been my favorite series so far? You know, Swedish and English down, French and Spanish and Mandarin or iffy. Bell, wow. Respect that one. Oh, okay. Let's see. What's the favorite series so far? I mean, if we're going overall, if we're going overall series, I still think Throne of Glass just has to be still my. I mean, let me be honest though. So, and this is why, honestly, by default, I'm saying Throne of Glass because technically, unless something changes, technically that's the only complete series we have. So that's the only series I can say that is completed. You see what I'm saying? Because we know there's more Fourth Wing coming. We know there's more Crescent City coming. We know there's more Ashen coming. So I won't say, yeah. So my favorite series is by that alone is going to be Throne of Glass. Now, if we go to if I go to just which one have I enjoyed the most, still probably Throne of Glass. But believe it or not, you know what? See, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if it's not complete, like, I don't know. It just, that's the one that's at this point, it could be complete. She might come back to it too. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I'd have to sit down and think because each of them pulled me in different direction. You know what I'm saying? And as I look at them, I can look at each one and have a different feeling. Now, One thing I will say is I also have to kind of put like in different. I can't compare Ashen to the ones we read. You know what I mean? It's just it's so hard to compare them because they're not really the same. If that makes sense. So, I will say this much. What I did love about Ashen is I like, even though how the book stopped, it is still one full complete story. There's no 6 months forward, 9 months forward, 2 years, 5. I liked how it's just boom, 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 boom. A lot of the times I had to, I don't know if you didn't see it, but I would say the wrong title on my videos, on the reviews, because I would forget what book we were on. Like I was just, fuck, because it's the same, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing stops. So that gives, for me, that gives Ashen a lot of bonus points. I love Fourth Wing. Don't get it twisted. I love Fourth Wing. That's definitely probably, from what we've read, if I had to put them in a quick numerical order, just going off the top of my head, I would probably go Throne of Glass, Crescent City, Fourth Wing, Road of Bones, Akatar. Just off the top of my head. Just off the top of my head. And the only reason Akatar is so low is because the first book is because of what Tamlin did to me. And it's a good book. It's because I got fooled. I feel like there's egg on my face because he fooled me. You know what I mean? He fooled me. And so that one. But the rest of it, bam. Like, I'm not going to lie. If I didn't have that experience with Tamlin, like feeling, because that's the first time I felt betrayed. Like, I didn't understand. Again, y'all, I didn't read books a lot. So I didn't think, for some reason in my mind, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like in my, what do you want to call it? Absence of knowledge. I don't even want to know what the fucking not adolescence. Just in my, just call it. TikTok. I am talking about myself. I am not bullying anybody. In my sheer stupidity, I just didn't think an author in a book would try to pull an oop-de-oop on you. It wouldn't fool you. It wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Knowing damn well it could. Like, this is, y'all, I know you're going to laugh at me. For some reason, I didn't think you would reread a book. Like, why would I reread a book? I already know what would happen. Like, hey, guy, you rewatched the TV shows, and I get it, but it didn't. Yes, my naive innocence. There you go. My naivety. You know what I'm saying? So it was just different. I was like, I just didn't think you could do that. And then all of a sudden, like with the tandem read, I can read 2 books at one time. What are we talking about here? So like, I was just like, what the heck? It didn't hit me. And exactly, you pick up on so many new things, just like you do when you rewatch a TV show the second or third or the fourth or the fifth or the sixth time. But for some reason, I just didn't apply it to books because I didn't read the books. You know what I'm saying? So it is. But even though, and again, this might sound crazy, even though Akatar is so low, again, Akatar still holds a different place in my heart because Akatar is the one that actually got me hooked on this whole thing. And I will have to give credit to where credit is due. And even with Tamlin doing what he fucking did to everybody, like, if I wouldn't have had that, I don't think I would have freaking gotten as hooked with the rest of it, going like, wait a second, I got played here. You know what I mean? So that's, I'm into. So that's why I say it's very hard to rank. So even though I do have them in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type rank, like we're talking, it's like, if I were putting a number score, like it would be 100, 99.9, 99.98, 99.97, 99.972, 99.971. You know what I'm saying? They're all that very close. Like I haven't been upset with anything y'all have recommended. I will say this, the pleasant surprise of all of them was actually Crescent City. That was the one I was most scared about, was Crescent City. I was like, what? what? Nah. Okay. So no, it's like listen, it's not, I'm not trying to offend the books. I'm just keeping it real. Like, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very, very scared about Alchemized, okay? I was even, Belle can even contest to this. Like, I'm not keeping nothing, okay? We were in fucking Nika's live, okay? Nika was doing a live and she was doing her crochet, right? We were talking about what was next, and I'm like, okay, Alchemized next. Like, the way everybody's like, it's so slow, and like, I'm like, okay, it's a little bit worried, but everybody was like, Crescent City, oh, the modern, it sucks, and the camera, I was like, what? And I was like, okay. But then I got into it, and I was like, bam! The book gets unnecessary hate. I'm way unnecessary hate. So I'm going in that with Alchemized, and I'm like, all right, I'm just taking it in as I'm going in like I did with ACOTAR, just so everybody knows. Liz told me ACOTAR, I have to get through ACOTAR to get to the rest of the story. You have to get to ACOTAR to get to the rest of the story. Okay, Alchemized, I'm going to be going into a brand new world, and the author is just going to give me lots of details so my brain will be able to pick it up. And that's all you know what I'm saying? So we're going into it with that mindset. So we're just going to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? People are nuts. They talk much poop. P, are you talking about a CC or Alchemized? But yeah. I think it'll be better for you since I didn't read Manacled. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Manacled. I will, Emily, I will have to bow down and to say yes, because I have no idea how to even answer. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the whole lore and anything behind that. Oh, P to CC, yeah. CC got so I listen again, and it was I can see why it's scary, especially when you look at the dang thing. I mean, they're massive ass books too. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at how thick, I mean, listen, that's like being a skinny guy and going up to a thick girl. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go up to hey Liz, how you doing? How you doing, beautiful? You know, you get a little scared. Pretty thick. Can I handle all? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna lie, DW. I was so scared of the thick books. Now I'm like, when I get this, I'm like, oh, there's only 60 chapters. Okay, bet. Like, if I wasn't sticking to the 5-chapter rule, and because I had to do videos, if I was just reading and posting, I think I would be kind of up there with some of y'all on some of your, oh look, this is what I read today. Instead of me going, I'm on the same book for the last 2 months, I'd be like, I read these 5 books today. I read this whole series in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Because listen, let's be honest. I am retired. I am freaking retired. Okay. After I take my kids to school, we do our chores. We come out here, we eat breakfast. We have our little morning rune, and then she goes and does her crafts. And then I sit down and read and make videos. Like, it's crazy. Today's reading, like 28 minutes, but it took me 3 hours to edit the videos, and my edits aren't even that crazy. So just imagine if I was just reading and then saying, all right, this is what I thought about the book. Like, we would be going, we'd be spitting books out left and right. But, you know, you were scared of Kingdom. I was scared of Kingdom of Ash too. Listen, I was scared of Throne of Glass. When we went to go buy Throne of Glass, it was right after we finished. I was going to go buy the first book. I was just going to buy Throne of Glass. And then Liz was like, oh, hell no, it's your birthday gift. I'm going to buy you the whole set because I know you're going to like it. Even though she ain't read it, she knew. She was like, I know you're going to finish it. You always do. And then boom. And she didn't tell me. I just went and hung out with it. I was hanging out with the kids, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I gotta get the book. She's like, oh, it's already at checkout. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, what the hell? I was like, what the? So I'm just saying, I think I'll have to check. Yeah, we'll be finished with this today. So I still have to ask her. to show me how to do the whole stuffity stuff that you did. So I'll check. And then if not, the plan is I will be starting. I don't know if there's anything in the Discord, but the plan is to start Alchemized on Wednesdays live. She said, and here come the glitches. Uh-oh. Are we glitching? I don't see mine. Are we glitching out? I don't see any frame drops on my end. So I will stop for a second. Are we back yet? Okay, we're good now. Okay, so yeah, the plan if I don't know if there's I know people were working on setting up the Alchemized channel, but again, I haven't been. Oh, you the glitch. They just put us in jail again, right? I haven't got any restrictions. So, yeah, we're good. We're good. But yeah, as long as whoever did anybody do the breakdown? If not, we're gonna go. The PTSD is strong in this group for J. Yeah, right. I know y'all said some of these chapters are super long, so there might not be 5 a day. So listen, I think what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna do with what. Hey, Ali, I'm just gonna do with what I can get done in that day. With the way this book goes, because some of y'all were saying some of these chapters are like 20 and 30 pages. Like there were some honking chapters. Just kind of watching people talk. So I'm just going to try to get usually about 20 minutes of reading. I can usually get about, if it's action, you know what happened in a regular story, I get about 5 minutes of video of talking. So it was actually crazy on one of the videos today. It only took me, hey, Bobby Lee, it only took me a minute and like 8 seconds to read the 3 pages, and then I talked for a minute and 28 about the chapter. So you know what I mean? Go figure. But yeah, so we're just gonna kind of play Alchemized. There's not gonna be a set if it's 5 a day, just because of how the book is. So with that being said, oh, and we've hit our first 5K. So now that we've hit, oh, you won both your games. Let's go. All right. So we got 2 prizes then. All right. So we're going to do the wheel spin first for your 5K. Let's do that. Oh, and we're starting out with the buzzard. We got the sticky from the side. Oh, bye, Dr. Lego. Have a good night. I hope the rage cleaning helps, love. Come back and check on them. Make sure they're not being too rowdy for me. You know how they be getting on me. Yeah. Oh. Thank you, Dr. Lego. You're the best. All right. And then Ali, since you won both your games last night, pick a button. Level 60, and we're only halfway done. Nice, Em. She said she wants a rune button. Here you go.
Rune Den, Crown Prince of the Valkyries.
Em, one night we're going to have to link up. I don't have the new expansion, but we'll have to link up one night. Just go do some missions, just have some fun. I'm in my Harlow. There we go. All right. Hello, Lady Q. Look at you. Also have one that sends out a flock of bees. That's funny. Rune, what that tongue do? Ah, that's funny. All right, are we ready? Okay, so Just so there's a lot. Listen, there's all sorts of extra button things going on here tonight, just so everybody knows, okay? Excuse me. Hang on. Let me get hang on. Here. Oh, yes, last night. Night M, have fun. Wise cups and you right? And you know it's even bad? It's not even iced tea half the time now, y'all. It's water now. It's legit I only have 2 cups of iced tea now. Can y'all believe that? I might be overdoing the whole diet change. Hey, Court, but like we cut down the amount of sugar in the iced tea, and now I only have 2 glasses of iced tea, and then I have water. So I have a water cup. Now I just need water. I just need a water sticker. Maybe, let's put a water sticker on there. I don't know. That's a good idea. A water cup. Non-alcoholic water. Ooh. Where were we? Oh, yes, I was going to tell you, or tears. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Tamlin's tears. Tamlin's tears. That would be funny. That would be funny. Okay, so baseball game is about to start in a little bit. That starts at like 9 o'clock my time, okay? That starts about 9 o'clock my time, so then you get the home runs. If the Dodgers hit a home run, you know you will get a free wheel spin on the button. But it is the NHL playoffs, and the Colorado Avs are currently playing. They are currently in a 1-1 tie with the Minnesota Wild, as the Colorado Avalanche are my team. Anytime they score a goal, you will get a free wheel spin. As well, if they win the game at the end, we're going to save all button tours for the end, okay? Just that way we make sure we get the story in. We will give you a free tour at the end if they pull the game out. They are currently leading their series 2-1. All right. So you get hockey goals tonight. You got baseball home runs. And we are finishing. We're getting to what's currently the end. I don't want to call it the end. What do we say this? The stop point? The stop point? A watery Ow! Hang on. Actually, hang on. Hang on. I gotta. Oh, that's a bookmark. It's a bookmark magnet. Watery bowels. Hang on. Let's check. All right. Let's see, what do we got here? I got so many stickers from you. I gotta see what we have. Hang on. Just do a quick look. I might need to clean this and just put stickers all over this mug. And then, hey, babe, you want to learn to epoxy a mug? Have you ever epoxied a mug with stickers? That would be cool, right? You want to learn to do epoxy-less? She's going to hate me for saying this. Oh, I know you. Oh, I said cauldron boil me. Dang it. Oh, man. Your cat's a sweetheart. No, she's not. She destroys me every morning. Right, exactly. Liz can do it. All right, I'm going to have to go through. I'll have to go. Y'all got me so many stickers. I'm going to have to go through these later. I'm going to check it out. I think I have 2 tumblers with bookish stick. Oh, okay, so it can be done. All right, might have to look into that. All right, anyway. Woo! All right, we are coming to our current stopping point of the Ashen Series. It's kind of sad. Liking this a lot more than I thought I'm not going to lie. I wasn't sure. Vikings and Magic. Love it. Great series. Everybody needs to pick this up. She says a lol. Pause. You telling me to pause? It said no audio detected. Check your sound settings. I'm still here, Tiki Talkie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Never doubted you, P. Okay, Court. Yeah. And not have FOMO. No worries. Thank you for stopping by. Go finish. Enjoy. And P, I never doubted you. I was like, all right, listen, this is new to me. So I'm going into it just like, all right, I don't know what I'm getting into. It wasn't doubt. It's just, I don't even know what to expect. You know what I mean? So it's just, all right, here we go. That's all I can say is just like, Well, next time we do the wheel, I think we going with on the list. We gonna picture it out. His boundaries were being massaged. Massaging to see how far out I'll go. Is that where we're going? Yes. Oh, mine. Yes. Oh, I get it. We're seeing how far we can expand this. I get it. No, I get it. We got to see what we can do. That's why I'm open for everything. Y'all are hilarious. Nobody wants to get restricted again. They're like, I don't want to get restricted. Wait, whoa. Guys, I fell on the street Saturday. I'm going to get groceries. She said, guys, I did end up landing on my right knee and elbow, but I didn't injure it. Good job, DW. Let's go. Respect it. I like it. He's a ninja roll. That's like, what did Austin Powers say? Judo chop. And I felt like 007. That's epic right there. Ninja romantasy. Ooh. There you go. That could be good. Landing on your knee sounds like you looked cool, but are you okay? Oh, that's funny. You look good, but are you really okay? Oh, that's funny. All right. We are a little bit past start time, but that's okay. Are we ready to finish this out? We are fighting the god of chaos right now. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on because I'm scared. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually scared right now. All right. She said at our big age. Do we have any ninjas in the group? We're not that old. No. No, we're not that old. We're not that old. Not that old. All right. Oh, look at that. We're vintage. There you go. There you go. My kids call me antique, but we'll go with vintage. I like vintage. Vintage. You know the fact when I was registering my car this month, my truck. I was registering and the dude came in and was like, oh yeah, I need to get classics plates for my car. I'm like, what the fuck? 1990 is a classic. What did you say? 1990 is a classic car? Get the fuck out of here. Classic car 1990. Wild. Okay, anyway, let's get into this story. All right, I gotta stop putting it off. I really don't kind of want it to end. I don't want it to end, but it's gotta end. It's gotta end. All right. Are we ready? Okay. Let's do our squats. These knees can drop it like they used to. All right. This is the deal. Every time, if we roll a chode, everybody has to do 5 squats. All right, let's get into it. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. All right, Chapter 66. 66. Let's get into it. Okay. All right. Here we go. Chapter 66. Dawn of the North. Let's do it. All right. Nausea boiled in Saga's gut, though it was not due to the wide open skies around her. It was Asa. Saga had to get to her. Gripping Havoc's mane, she pressed her chest lower to his sleek form as he sailed through the salt-tinged air. Must get to her, she thought frantically, the tug of Asa's mind growing stronger with each passing heartbeat. Saga had felt a similar pull of Asa's moments Isildurian shores had come into view. She also felt that other thing, the dark creature nesting deep within her. Immediately, Saga had bristled again. Never again would she listen to that voice. Never again would she let it feed her deepest, most heinous desires. But Asa, something was wrong. Cassandra had found Saga unfastening the sling that secured Havoc in his stalls on their merchant ship. I have to go to her, she explained to her husband's wordless expression. She's in trouble. Cassandra had chewed on his reply. Then Saga's great relief had simply nodded. You will bring me with you, he ordered. And though Havoc had snorted indignantly, indignantly, fucking that word, you know what I'm saying? God. Anyway, where'd I go? I lost my words. Did I hit the page? Where the fuck did I lost my shit? You will bring, okay, snorted as the beast of Zagarian climbed into his back. Her stallion seemed to understand the urgency of this moment. Thank you for whoever gave me, Jaggy, thank you for the rose. I'm sorry I didn't say when you gave it to me. Sorry, I was having a fight with a word. And so he'd taken to the skies, Cassander shouting to Rav as they met at the port in Cunford. Saga had a silent apology to Cass's long-suffering second-in-command, who pulled his hair while shouting foul Sicarian curses at Cass. As Havoc carried Saga and Cass, angry over frothing seas and closer to Isildur, her senses had grown stronger, and with it came awareness of something new. A pool of power behind her breastbone. Cautiously, Saga probed it, trying to understand. Was this the heart of her magic? If so, what was that other thing? The dark thing that had spoken in her mind in Askaborg's great hall. It was silent now. But she shuddered to think what it might do should it wake. As they last flew over the rugged beach, Saga's breath grew even more. She was back in Isildur. Below them, the western woods sprouted upward, and Saga gasped at the state of the forest. The trees gray, splendid things, starving and parched. In the very farthest distance, a column of smoke churned in the skies. There, she shouted to Cass. After retching several times into the ocean, he'd been uncharacteristically quiet. Cassandra Ruick's stomach, it seemed, was not so ironclad as the grip he held around her waist. Y'all tell me y'all see that right now. Big ass bad Cass. Holding on a little old Saga. Oh, that fucking shit is epic as fuck, yo. I love that. And they flew until Saga's hands were numb with cold and her stomach seethed with the warmth of the angry bee. It was the farthest she'd flown on Havoc, yet with Cass behind her and her sister before her, she was bolstered with strength. Over and over, Saga reminded herself that fear was the thing to be felt. Still, her heart raced as her breasts were shallow. Time ceased to have meaning. Perhaps they flew for 1 hour. Perhaps it was 6. But gradually, the column of smoke grew nearer. The sun had set in the west behind them, and the moons began their rise in the east, directly before them in Saga's gaze at the smaller of the sisters' moons. She realized Mara was full. Hope sparked in her chest. Saga had always been drawn to Mara above the other old gods. Goddess of healing and knowledge, Saga's heard in her mother's voice. Mara is often called Peacebringer. A full Mara felt like a good omen. Not that Saga believed in such things. Havoc whined as the harsh sound climbed over the howling wind. Battle, growled Cass, his grip on her waist tightened. I do not like this. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I do not like this. You do not like it, Saga snapped. Asa is down there, and I have to find... Her words broke off as if she felt something hadn't felt in many long weeks, thoughts sweeping freely into her mind. It was a strange sensation, foreign yet familiar all at once. But as though the thoughts grew in strength and intensity, she braced herself against their onslaught. Die, you sack of rotten meat! I wish I had longer! Must get to her! Must reach her! Saga shoved her barriers into place as the battle came into view. She blinked in shock. Monstrous versions of the forest creatures fought hundreds of warriors. Saga spied the green-skinned woman with antlers, battling a pack of vampire deer. The Grimwolves launching at a horde of undead mountain cats. She gasped at the great drum of the heartbeat met her ears, carrying with the scent of mold and blood. It made no sense, but the part of her link to her sister told Saga that Asa was down there, and she was in danger. Saga's heart raced even faster. Her stomach churned over. Danger all around. If she landed, there would be no exits. But Asa needed her. What is this? Muttered Cassander, and he followed his pointing finger. There stood the largest of all the trees in the grove, its bark moving like liquid. What the fuck? She watched in horror as the lump emerged from the gray-black bark, growling and swelling until it burst and white mist seeped into the air. And there, a few paces from the tree, stood a warrior with flames pouring from his palms. This Ashbringer warrior alone, it seems, held the strange clouds at bay. Fucking Evan is a badass. The man's face was lined with exertion, and he looked as though he might not hold much longer. Something unnatural is afoot, said Cass. Winterving, I do not like this. But Saga was not listening. Her gaze jumped from the Ashbringer to a large dark warrior, bellowing as he charged across the grove. There was something similar about this warrior, something Saga could not place. But then she saw her, and nothing else mattered. Nothing ever matters, just you wait and see. Saga Insula matter. Sorry, I'm stimming. I'm sorry. Dark brown hair, pale skin, black armor, and worn beneath the wolf's skin cloak, Saga's sister was on her knees, eyes squeezed shut as she clenched her temples. A monstrous bear loomed several paces away. Asa, she whispered. Saga reached out to her sister, not with her sense, but through the mysteriously sisterly bond they used to communicate. She found her, but gasped. Elsa's thread was so weak. Havoc landed with the jarring force, hooves pounding in the snow hard enough to send monsters scattering, and Saga half climbed, half tumbled from the saddle. Get behind me, growled Cassander, the press of his magic filling the air. Fabric ripped, and she knew he'd shifted into his beast form behind her. Havoc shrieked, hoofs slashing out and lunging at a Grimwolf. To the skies, Havoc, Saga called, with a why am I putting a lee on it? You know what I'm saying? A begrudging snort. The stallion obeyed. Saga pulled a dagger from her boot as Cassandra unleashed himself upon the Grimwolf. Ignoring the carnage unfolded around her, Saga turned back to her sister. The bear was still several paces away, but Asa had fully collapsed in the snow, her body convulsing on her thread. A bear wisp. Asa, pleaded Saga, all thoughts of self-preservation fleeing her. Trusting Cass to guard her from the bear, she rushed to her sister. Saga dropped to her knees, then pulled Asa's head into her lap. I'm here, Asa. Saga hissed a voice inside her skull. No, mumbled Saga, reeling. It was the voice she heard at her engagement feast, the one that had pulled her darkest craving forth. You won't sway me this time. A wave of glee nearly knocked her to the ground. Oh, but I will, purred the voice. I will take your sister's life and keep you as my thrall. For years, Saga had been weaving her mental barriers to control her senses, and it came to her now as easily as breathing. She reinforced her walls with stone and steel. The creature's displeasure, a low grumble deep in his chest. Saga caressed her sister's cheek. You promised, Asa, she whispered, reaching one more for that strangely sister intuition. You promised we would meet one day. Come back, Asa. Help me keep that promise. The thinnest frayed thread of Asa's mind seemed to remain, and Saga entwined her own self around it, braiding them together to reinforce it. Images jolted through Saga, a dark knife-wielding figure above her, a man stabbed dead on the bench, blood and flesh beneath her fingernails. Dark carving slithered through Saga's veins. I am winning, dear Asa, they purred. I will tear you apart, one thought at a time. Understanding dawned on Saga, the voice she heard in her skull, the one who'd promised they'd have fun together, who lived inside her sister as well, and now it had a hold on Asa. Would it try to take her from Saga just when she'd found her? You won't have her, Saga screamed, holding to her sister as she shoved with all her will into Asa's mind. Saga could have sworn she saw Asa's eyelids flutter and thought it might have been a trick of her mind. She let it fuel her hopes all the same. She was dimly aware of Cassandra in beast form nearby, ripping the heads of monstrous deer and mountain cats as they lunged her way. But she tried to ignore them, tried to focus on her sister before her. With a deep breath, Saga gathered her energy and pulled from a pool of power shimmering behind her breastbone. Get out, she shouted, and with the full force of her will, she shoved again. This time, she knew she saw Asa's eyelids flutter. Saga felt the thread of her sister become firmer, stronger, resisting the force that tried to fray it through. Stop! Shouted the voice in her skull, in the woods around her, but Saga would not stop, would never give up if it came to Asa. She pulled at the memories she had of her sister, embedding them with love and thrusting them at her. Saga showed Asa their mother making silly voices, and she told them girls' bedtime stories, and the time their father had paused an important meeting to allow his girls to climb into his lap and tell him about the newborn fawn they'd spotted on the grounds. Saga showed Asa Filta in the royal gardens, their father's belly laughed, their mother's wild curly hair. She sensed that thing pulse with fear, but all that mattered was bringing Asa back to her. Release her! Bellowed the dark presence, a ground shaking with its fury. Asa's thread grew thicker, stronger, her eyelids fluttering more strongly now, and Saga did not relent her grip. She held her power, entwined with Asa's, and continued pouring all her love through the bond. Saga was so focused on her sister that she did not see the bear charging at her with impossible speed. Cassandra launched himself through the air, but it was too late. The bear collided with her. Saga lost her grip on Asa and went skidding across the snow. Her skull collided with the large boulder, and for a moment her vision was a blur of dancing lights. Disorientated, she pushed to her feet. A shame, growled the dark thing, its voice coming from everywhere all at once. What wrought such havoc in Askaborg together? The bear stepped over Asa's prone body and prowled toward Saga. But if you won't relent your hold on Asa, then you will have to shh. Time seemed to slow as the bear crouched, prepared to leap upon her. Saga's eyes blurred with tears as she stared down certain death. At last she would die fighting for something worthy. At last she would go to her promise to Elsa, made true. We're not done, Merc, came a voice of steel. Oh! And Saga could have wept, for there stood Asa, sword in hand. Her eyes are clear, the white sprite, and beside Asa stood a pale, skinnied woman warrior with a dozen long black braids, yanking up the sleeve of her armored jacket, though her strange sisterly bond, the name Rooney, fitted Saga's mind. The bear unleashed a savage growl that shook the very realm. The white mist held at bay by the Ashbringer broke through with sudden force. Surging up the bear's nostrils, Saga felt the power flowing into the bear from everything all around them. The infected trees, the undead creatures, all the darkness in this grove channeled into the creature. The raw power of the bear was so staggering. Saga's vision seemed to haze, yet she did not miss her sister's hand when the woman warrior's arm. Yeah, did not miss her sister's hand on the woman warrior's arm. Saga pushed through the addled mind for that thread of Asa still braided with her own, and she felt her sister's power change. Suddenly, Saga was acutely aware of the light all around them, minuscule wiggling tethers they could control with their mind. Shadowhound, her mind supplied, and Saga realized that they were building blocks of light. The tethers shifted, reformed, became a great mirrored shield. Rooney backed away from Asa, and everything happened quickly. Black flames erupted from the bear, surging right for Asa. Saga screamed. Warriors were all sides, shouted in dismay. The black flame struck Asa and bounced off the reflective shield. Saga's scream died in her throat as the jet of black flames rebounded off the strange, invisible force, striking the bear and infecting trees directly behind it. An ear-splitting crack as Saga clapped her hands over her ears and sealed her lips shut as snow and wood dust powdered the air. But as the debris settled and she saw that where the bear had once stood was now a pile of blackened, steaming gore, and behind it a monstrous tree was rent in two. Saga looked about in stunned disbelief. The undead creatures were fleeing from the woods. A war cry rose up as warriors chased them. Cassandra was suddenly before her in beast form, scenting for injuries. Saga patted him absently as her gaze found her sister. Asa swayed on her feet, looking just as incredulous as Saga felt. But as those brown eyes locked with hers, a jolt ran through Saga. For years she dreamed of that horrid day, countless times, of the arms shaking around Saga's waist, the wrenching from her little Asa's grip, of those brown eyes widened in terror. Don't leave me, Saga had screamed as Asa was pulled away. It was the day she lost her entire family, the worst day of Saga's life. But as she looked up to her sister now, there was no trace of fear in Asa's eyes. Instead, there was wonder and joy. An enormous smile spread across Asa's face, and it was the best God's damn dream of Saga's life. Her sister was smiling. Something inside her began to heal at that. Her sister. And then Saga was rounding past Cassandra and running at Asa. Tears flowed down her cheeks as she laughed and shrieked. She tackled Asa to the ground, wrapped her arms and legs around her. Asa hugged her back with equal vigor, and Saga's heart was so full she thought it might burst. She was laughing, crying, repeating the same words over and over. "My sister," Saga shrieked. "That's my sister!" That was nice. That was nice. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. Okay. All right. Let's go. Where are we at? All right. You got 2 spins. Let's get them. Woo, P, why you got us like this? Why you got to be doing this, P? We supposed to be fighting. You got us crying. We supposed to be fighting. You got us crying. And now we got to... I need help. I need an adult. I gotta set up that other webcam. I got so much shit to do. Y'all want Rune or cookie? Y'all want the Rune or the cookie? I can't figure out which one it is. You want Rune or cookie? It's purple. You say it's purple? Okay, purple's the cookie. Got it. a spot to stand. You know what I mean? You know what?
Rune down.
Let's just give him a fucking rune too, because that was a beautiful fucking chapter. And then you're still gonna get a spin. So there we go. I gotta stand like this. I don't know. I might have to. I gotta figure something out. All right, one more spin. All right, and then we're gonna get to this next chapter. Next chapters, I think that was the longest one for tonight. So the rest, excuse me, should be pretty quick. Ooh, buzzard! We said it's not the flappadoodle, it's the arrow. Buzzard. It's lack of iced tea. Yeah, listen. Listen, my whole diet's changed. It's changed. I gotta do what I gotta do, you know what I mean? It's all good. And I haven't had a soda or a Red Bull in 2 weeks. Oh, wise, what? What I do now? Elder abuse. So what? Listen, once I get my next blood work and we come back, then we'll add to it. But listen. Just so everybody knows. Don't worry about my lack of iced tea and all the other stuff. I gotta. This is better for me. I live longer, and the longer I stay alive, then the one inside, then she ain't gotta go back to work. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gotta go back to work. That's what my whole goal is. All right, you're better off, and for it sucks, but hey, listen. I just have 2 a day. I make sure I enjoy them, and I cut down the sugar. It sucks as a southern boy. Sweet tea is it's a staple, but it is what it is. My wife's more important than some sweet tea, and so are my kids. Wise, what do I think is happening in the next chapter? More bullshit. No. Well, they're gonna Wonder Twin powers unite, and they're gonna fuck a duck with Merrick. They're gonna fuck up Merrick. That's what I'm thinking. Are there any? The only one right now that we have some in the mugshot. We have some Ray, and then we have we have that guy in there. There's not. We haven't found a lot of Ashen guys to make a thirst trap button for, unfortunately. We got Ray and Cass and 2 sisters rolling in the mud laughing, right? So if we find some pictures, I'll definitely make an Ashen button. I would make an Ashen button for real. And so we got to get to them. I'm hoping, remember, we got the goal right there. If y'all break it, I know there's not a lot of y'all. There's only 8 of y'all here tonight. But if you break the goal, we get to make a new button. So, all right. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? 67. Woo, I just need to keep this on for probably most of the night. Let's just keep it real. All right, here we go. Where are you at? You're at 15. You start out with a button already. All right. Ray, Cass, and Evan need some love. They do. I agree. 100%. I mean, as far as I know, this is Cass right here. I'm guessing that's Cass. That would be, I'm guessing, because of the Pegasus and the wolf. I'm guessing that's Cass, but I need a real pig-eyed, I don't know. Yeah. All right. Here we go. 67. Dawn of the North. All right. Ray's ears rang in the wake of the explosion, paired with the absence of the tree's thundering heartbeat. There was disorientated, almost dizzy. But then he laid eyes on her, Scylla. Gods, she was on her feet, had destroyed the infected tree and defeated the god of chaos in a duel. When she crumpled to the ground, all Ray's fears had been made real. He'd thought he'd lost her, and for those long, torturous moments, he'd experienced what life was without her. Dark and grim. Devoted of light and laughter, now Scylla stood with her eyes clear and wide, and Ray felt the broken shards of himself reassembling. Everything felt different. Everything was so clear. She was the other half of him, his light, his hope, his reason for breathing. She was his lone hearthfire thought, and he would shelter her warmth as long as she'd let him. Ray needed to get to her. He wanted to tend to the wound on her cheek, wanted to bundle her in blankets and feed her sweet rolls, and he would bring her chicks every morning. He would make each and every one of her hearthfire thoughts come true. His limbs moved without thought. He shoved warriors aside, desperate to reach her, but before Ray could reach Scylla, another figure charged at her. "My sister!" shrieked Saga Volsic, tackling Scylla to the ground. Ray watched, dumbstruck, as the sisters embraced, rolling on the ground while laughing and crying. He'd seen the wing... Excuse me, there's something in my throat there. I don't know what happened was... Sorry. Fucking bugs. He'd seen the winged horses land in the clearing, but then had been too deep in the thrones of battle to see much else. Now he tried to shake the haze from his mind, tried to comprehend what happened. I think it's safe to take that off. Probably not. Lord have mercy on my soul. Snippets of memories flared behind his eyes. Rooney hauling Scylla to her feet. Scylla had gasped Rooney's arm, formed a reflective shield, rebounded Merrick's black flames at him. Reminded Ray's mind blurred. Nothing made sense. Saga Volsic was here? Hugging her sister? The impenetrable tree was now cracked clean down the middle? And the undead monsters had broken, chased from the groves by Jarl Agnar and his men. "That's my sister," sobbed Saga. Emotions caught deep in Ray's chest. After 17 years, the Volsic sisters were reunited. Reunited, and it feels so good. Boom. Y'all know it was coming. Shut up. You know it was coming. You know it was coming. You know it was fucking coming. Okay? That's what she said. I'm sorry. Ray would not interrupt them, but he lingered nearby, keeping a watchful eye for danger. To his left, he caught sight of Hekla falling to her knees before a prone figure. "Hearken, son, you God's damn fool of a man. You tore your stitches. Do you know how long they took me?" "Oh, Hekla. Entertainment TikTok is all entertainment. See right there. Oh, that's hilarious." You could not hear Evan's mumbled reply, but as Alton joined Hekla, Ray's gaze shifted to another scene unfolding in the grove. The forest maiden strolled towards a broken tree. A dozen grimwolves surrounding her. She looked as she had when she'd last seen her, only now human-sized. But with her green skin, antlers sprouting from her brow, a fox tail bristling behind her, she looked every bit a thing of myth and legends. The forest maiden approached the split tree, and Ray watched in fascination as she placed her hand upon the ruined bark. The maiden closed her eyes, almost as though listening for a pulse. God willing, life would never flow in that damnable tree again. Her lips moved in an audible murmur, and Ray watched in fascination. Mushrooms of all shapes and sizes sprouted before. Hey, what kind of mushrooms? Anybody got a portal there? Mushrooms of all shapes and sizes sprouted before his eyes. White clamshells unfurled like shelves upon the tree. Delicate frilled mushrooms bursting from the bark. Upward they blossomed until they covered every surface of the tree. Ray could sense them beneath him as well, burrowing into the soil, encasing the tree's roots. He blinked in astonishment as the mushrooms feasted on the tree's corpse before his very eyes. For a single moment, Ray could have sworn he felt the pulses of the forest in deep understanding of the complex threadwork in the soil. He felt the parched, gasping trees all around him, finally able to draw breath. Death was all around them, skeleton saplings and brittle bracken, bone-dry grasses and graves of insects. But as the mushrooms consumed the dead tree, Ray felt wonders happening beneath the soil, minuscule threads weaving into the web, nutrients from the dead tree flowing through them like blood through a vein. As the strange underground network reached the dormant spores and the seeds, they were germinated with the burst of nutrients, and the web reached in the other great Harja trees in the grove. They were infused with life. In this moment, Ray understood that the forest had held its own sort of magic. The dead would feed off the living. The dead would feed the living. The elderly would nurture the seedling. Life would return to these woods. In time, it would be all right. Married? Scylla exclaimed, and Ray's deep connection to the woods snapped free. Dazed as she turned to Scylla, she and her sister had disentangled and settled themselves cross-legged on a cloak. Scylla's smile was bigger than Ray had ever seen, warming clean through him. But then he caught sight of a large approaching the pair. Ray's sword was drawn in an instant. Not another step forward, growled the tip of his blade, pressing in the middle of the man's bare chest. Ray scowled, his gaze drifting downward, then swifting snap. Where are your breeches? The man's eyes flashed a dangerous green. He's a casualty of battle, the warrior said, shrugging. I suggest you put away your sword before I tear your hand from your body and use them to decorate my wife's horse. Inky black markings pulsed from the man's tan skin, further raising Ray's hackles. He expressed a thin ribbon of smoke, covering his concerningly low reserves with extra bravado. I'll roast you like a spring rabbit before you can try. Cassander, came a woman's voice. Oh, gods, you impossible man. A cloak flew through the air, smacking the green-eyed warrior on the side of his head. That's funny as fuck. Saga Volsic appeared by the man's side and eyed Ray coldly. Unhand my husband, shocked Ray's gaze, fitted between Scylla's sisters and the green-eyed warrior, who apparently are her husband. So protective, my wife, said the man, grinning like a wildcat as he pulled the cloak around his shoulder. It seems almost like you would care for me. Just cover yourself before you get frostbite, Saga muttered. Scylla's hand slid around Ray's elbow, and she gently pulled his sword away. Ray discarded it in an instant, his hands moving to cup her jaw. Sunshine, he rasped, inspecting her for any signs of injury. There was a cut on her pale cheekbone, an egg-shaped swelling behind her ear. He hissed as his fingers probed her shoulders and thigh. But she had no broken bones, no deep wounds in need of stitching. She was a god's damn miracle. Ray pressed his forehead to hers and asked the question he dreaded most. Do you feel him? Do you feel Merc? She wrapped her hands around his wrist, holding to him. No. He's gone. Ray met her eyes with a tremendous exhale, then kissed her, because he couldn't bear not to. You did it, he breathed between kisses. I knew you could. But the clearing of the throat made the pair break apart. Scylla and Ray turned sheepishly towards Saga and her husband. His sister of my Saga, exclaimed the green-eyed man, the cloak now belted at his waist to cover his most predominant parts. Bricked. Not really, I'm just saying, sorry. The half-naked warrior smiled, somehow widened as his gaze landed on Scylla. He took Scylla's hand in his and brushed his lips against her knuckles. I am Cassander Ruach of Zakraka, the man continued, son of the High Prince and husband of Saga. Tone it down, Ruach, muttered Saga, rolling her eyes. Nice to meet you, said Scylla, her cheeks flaming red. Ray wrapped a proprietary arm around Scylla's proprietary arm around Scylla's shoulders and pulled her thigh to her chest. Looking over her head, and Cassander Ruach locked eyes, and the gleam that Ray found there told him this man was trouble. What? Looking over her head, and Cassander Ruach locked eyes, and the gleam that Ray found there told him. Ray thinks Cassander's trouble. This is not going to go well. Oh, Scylla glanced up. This is Ray. My Ray. Ray met the Sagarian warrior with a warning glare, but the man smiled back, unperturbed. Ray's gaze then slid to Saga Volsic. With her blonde braids and blue eyes, at first glance, there were a few similarities with Saga, but the purred nose and slopes of the cheekbones were shared by the sisters. We've met, actually, he told Saga. I'm of the Galtung line. You might not recall, but you played with my brother, Christian, in the Askerberg Gardens. Saga blinked. The Galtongues? Yes, I remember your family. But her eyes narrowed. And I most certainly recall the incident at the fountain. Scylla's hand went to the scar in the corner of her eye, while Ray felt that long, suffering twinge of guilt that she had fallen from that fountain under his watch. He also felt Saga's gaze on him, stern and assessing. He had the distinct impression that she was trying to decide whether he was good enough for her little sister. The gods brought Ray and me back together, explained Scylla, excitement sparkling in her voice. I hid in his wagon, and he tried to kill me. But then I blackmailed him to take me. That's funny. I blackmailed him, and then he tried to Scylla broke off, and Sagas glared at Ray and testified. I have much to tell you, as I suspect you have to tell me. Scylla grew silent. Oh, what the hell? Scylla grew silent, her eyes shining with unshed tears. I can't believe it, she whispered through her smile. The caution in Saga's face melted away, and she closed the space between them, embracing her sister tightly. I cannot either. Saga lifted her blue eye into Ray's to thank you for keeping her safe this time, she added. A laugh broke free from deep in Ray's chest. Saga Volsic was the older sister through and through. Perhaps they'd get along, the two of them. Scylla released her sister and smiled at Cassander. And you, Lord Ruick, you may call me Cass, Saga's husband said, jovial, eyes dancing. I've always wanted a brother, said Scylla cheerily. Her gaze darted to his bared chest, then quickly back up. A nervous laugh fell from her lips. Let us find you some clothing. And Scylla tugged Cass away. The pair chattered eagerly. Ray and Saga exchanged weary glances that each said the same thing. This would be a very long ride back to Copa. That's funny. All right. It's a live story. What do you mean it's a live? What does that mean? It's a love story. Oh, it's a love story wise. I was like, what do you mean it's a live story? What does that mean? All right. Ooh, we got 2 spins because you got the 15 before we started and then you get the 5 after. So we got 2 spins. Let's do it. Ooh. Also, while we're spinning before I hit the buttons, I just want y'all to know, hey, what's up, Swanson? What's up? Taking my freaking berries and pureeing them. I can handle them like that, y'all. So that excites me too. All right, what do we got? Ooh, we got the pepper. I've always liked to play with fire. You. I've always liked to play with fire. All right. And then, of course, we got everybody's favorite scary couple. Oh, let's go. 10K pages, sir. Oh, that would be an amazing. All right. Chapter 68. Let's get into it. All right. The baseball game has started. No home runs. The hockey game is going 3rd period. Still tied. We got buttons. We got wheels. We got Dawn of the North. Oh, thank you for the lightning bolt, Swanson. I appreciate it. Let's do it. Chapter 68. Now they're back in Copa. Oh, thank you and you joined the fan club. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Scylla signed contently as, hey, Ray, guess what? You got a goal. You got one. The Avs just scored a goal. Well, that is one spin on whatever you get. So +1. Let's go. All right. Scylla sighed contentedly as Ray picked a comb gently through her freshly washed curls. Did you need some? No. Oh, no? Okay. A fire crackled in the hearth nearby, and the feel of Ray behind her was absolutely divine after so many days spent apart. He let out a sound of displeasure, working the comb through the stubborn knot. Ray's chest brushed against the back of her nightdress, and the friction set Scylla's skin alight. Is this a normal chapter? Is this a normal chapter, P? I thought all the spices were done. Oh boy, okay. Let's see what happens. All right, gods, but she'd been away from this man for so long. But tonight, Ray was back in Copa, back in her bed, and Scylla's patience was quickly fraying. Quickly fraying. All told, they lost roughly a third of their warband in the Battle of the Heartwood. And it hurt Scylla deeply to think that each one was a father, a brother, a sister, or a mother who would not come home to their family. Is it? All right, once I see it, all right. At least okay, all right, I got you. I'm with you. That's what I figured. Okay, I had the feeling. I got you. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, and yet their sacrifice was not without merit. They defeated the Lynch and had to prevent a poisonous mist from spreading and then creating any more turned creatures. But it was impossible not to think of all those who already had been turned, to wonder how many Drugger had traveled to the place called Roxgard, and for what purpose. Still, Scylla had returned to Copa with Merrick's bargain broken. She was free of his dark whispers, from his twisted influence. She no longer had to dose herself with Hindrum to protect her Ashbringer source. And reuniting with her cold, wintry light had been a moment of pure joy. The biggest prize of all, wrought from the Battle of the Heartwood, was Saga. The sister had flown on Havoc back to Copa ahead of the group, a fact that both Ray and Cass initially opposed. But with Saga's condition, days upon days spent traveling outdoors would be too taxing, and besides, Scylla would let nothing come between her and getting on that winged horse. What? Scylla getting on the wing? Hang on. What is happening? Saga's wait, did I miss something? What? What? Scylla returned to Copa. She had no longer dosed herself with the Hindrum. The sisters had flown on Havoc's back to Copa ahead of the group. Okay. But with Saga's condition, what condition? Oh, Saga not like being outside. Saga not outside condition. Okay. Days upon days spent traveling outdoors would be taxing, and besides, Scylla would not let that thing become turned a winged horse. When Ray and Cass had seen the conviction of her sisters' faces, they begrudgingly relented. And Scylla would admit her heart and squeezed with delight that she laid eyes on Havoc. True, the stallion did not care for her attempts to sweet-talk them, but Havoc allowed Scylla to climb on to his back behind Saga. Soaring above the western woods and gazing out over the snow-swept lands of Isildur had been a moment of absolute freedom. There had been much fanfare upon the sisters' arrival in Copa, but Scylla had quickly ushered Saga into her chambers, where they had remained sequestered ever since. They had exchanged stories of strife that each faced, laughing and crying at each high and low, and then Scylla had begged for stories of their parents, of the castle that she'd been too young to recall. She's been cheating on Dawn, that's funny. She collected each story like a treasure, and when Saga had offered to draw their parents, Scylla had been overcome with emotion. She owed her life to Saga. Once again, when she found herself in the darkest of places, Saga extended a hand in help. Again and again, Scylla mulled over the strange effect of braiding their power together. It was clear this channel between them allowed more than just communication. She'd felt Saga, had seen her sister's memories in her own mind, and Scylla had felt Saga's love, the warmest hug, yet she wondered about his bond and what power it might reveal. But now Scylla finally had time alone with Ray. Each pass of the comb wound up even tighter. The maddeningly gentle way he handled her hair only worsened things. The next tug at her roots broke her patience clean through. Scylla brushed her toes against Ray's calf, back and forth, back and forth. But the man was dedicated to his task. She blew a weird tendril from her face. Then another idea struck her. Scylla dipped her shoulder, wiggling it until Ray huffed in irritation. Be still, woman. I'm nearly done. But it wasn't enough. The loose collar of her night dress slid free. She waited for Ray to notice. The bare skin of her shoulder waited for the wet heat of his tongue to slide along it. Nothing. Her brow snapped together as she continued to pick at the stubborn knot. She bristled with frustration, then pulled forth her Ashbringer Galdra. A smile curved up as the familiar cold press of her magic filled her veins. Her forearm glowed with pure white light, and her chilled cold breath clouded the air. God, she'd missed this skill of hers. Scylla found the crevice in her mind that controlled her expression and gently pulled at it, allowing a slow release of her light in the air. Ray's comb stilled, and victory swelled inside her. That's not the only thing swelling. Bricked and clicked, folks. Bricked and clicked. Today on Wise Beyond the Stories. Scylla heard the motes of light toward her bare foot, using the softest of touches to make them dancing along her skin. He gasped, goosebumps pedaling beneath her cold light. But his skin did not frost, nor did he jerk his foot away. She practiced this slighter touch in the days since her return to Copa, and hoped that in time she could use her Ashbringer skill as adeptly as Ray did his smoke. As though he could read her thoughts, the scent of smoke prickled Scylla's nostrils. An undulating charcoal tendril drifted over her shoulders before entwining her with light and lifting it away from his foot. She loved to watch their magic play together. Now we got magic play. First you got to magic master foreplay. Now you got to master magic play. Like, come on. We got to lower the standards here for us regular old guys. Come on now. I'm just playing. Watching the magic. Anyway, she loved to watch their magic play together. Loved watching the contrast of dark and light, of ice and fire. It was strange, she thought, how much different elements could complement one another so well. Ray's smoke thickened, its heat quickly melting away the icy motes of Scylla's light. And then the smoke was changing direction, sliding along her bared arms and leaving pinpricks of heat. With a gasp, Scylla withered away. But trapped between Ray's body and his smoke, there was nowhere to go. The press of Ray's chest to her back sent desire spiraling into her center. It was nearly done, grumbled Ray's mouth directly next to her ear. And since you cannot keep your Galdra to yourself, now you will suffer the consequences. What consequences? Scylla asked, breathlessly, as his smoke entwined her wrist. With a quick twitch of his fingers, Ray's smoke hauled up her between her legs and over onto her stomach, face pressing into the furs. Scylla was disorientated as the blinds around her waist pulled upward and her arms were pinned above her head. She managed to turn her head towards Ray and blow some wayward curls away from his face. Ray had discarded his tunic, revealing an expanse of warmth brown skin that contrasted the deep blues of his dragon tattoo. Scylla did not know where to look first, but her gaze soon fell to what stained against his breeches. Bricked! Your hair, warned Ray, will be messed. Ray, I don't think she'd give two fucking ducks and shits about her goddamn hair at this point. His heated look made Scylla's body clench down on empty air. Make it thoroughly, hopelessly tangled. You want that? He asked dangerously. To be all tangled up? That's what she said. She nodded empathetically and then gasped as smoke rolled her over once more. I couldn't even do that with a smoke machine. He got that look in him. Mm-hmm. You sure about that? You sure about that? All right, let's see what we got going. I've scored a goal. Got another one at the end. Do you want me to take care of you, sunshine? She nodded, squirming against him. Clicked. Bricked. Impossible to ignore. You still have to earn it. Damn. After she just killed Merrick and you saying still gotta earn it. That's jet. Wow, Ray Ray. That's wow, Ray Ray. The way he took charge and the softness. All right. Shifted his weight. His eyes never left hers. Fuck, he muttered, so soft. She candid her lips. All right, beautiful lips. He watched her with such intimacy as his thing. All right. He's working them buttons again, y'all. All right, so he's working the buttons. All right, doing them. All right. Got some arching. Twisting in the binds. Oh, watch it. Helpless. Helpless. Powerless. All the muscles are tightening. And then stilled. Told you you'll have to earn it. Damn, that's something, Ray. He continued his games as the moons climbed higher above the window. Aching. Aching. She's aching. Got her aching. He had mercy on her, broke, shivering, radiating from the center until they reached every part of her being. Oh, Olympics. She just went, ow! Damn, as her consciousness slowly came back. Have I ever made you lose your consciousness, babe? That's what consciousness slowly came. Holy crap, Ray Ray. My guy, you fucking, what, brain damn? What are you doing? A night dress is burning to cinders. Ray, are you... What the... I'm about to get yelled at. Sorry, folks. What's up, love? Aches and pains. I've given you aches and pains? Jesus, what? That's not good.
That's what you said.
That's what I said. The smoke at her right ankle. I am weird, yes. I 100%. I love you too. Scissored apart. Hang on. Hang on. Arms pinched over her head, twisted on her side. Obscene. What? That's got to be uncomfortable. But okay, every inch of on. Ooh. Hey, can we? Hey, you think you can handle that? I'm just saying. Think you can handle that? Oh man, I lost the page now. Son of a gun. Damn it. Okay, there, I found it. Okay, okay. But look over her shoulders are building sharp. Okay, there we are. Look like a man in control. Ain't no man in control with no woman. Get twisted. I want to do like that. What the hell? For a long time. Okay. He's had this one in his mind. All right. All twisted up for me. Okay. Ray's got a pretzel fetish, I guess. I don't know. What is that? Contortion fetish? I don't know. Anticipation. Okay. I've never heard. So stretching is delicious. Okay. So if I stretch, stretching is delicious. Okay. On the edge of pain. Okay. Night quiver fully there. Right. Okay. 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 Again, when you have like when you have to ask, "Are you all right?" in the process, sometimes I get worried about people's health now. Like, why are you all right? Like, what do you mean? Are you all right? Like, what are we doing? It's digressing. Experimental. What is an experimental? What the hell? Like, what the hell? It's wild. Oh, and the thumb action. He's got that thumb action. Okay. Got that tandem. Okay. Oh! Like a brutal storm. Beautiful. Okay. All right. One. Mm-hmm. Inner muscles clenched down. Dark delight filling her at his hiss. Not yet, wicked woman. I've waited too long. That just means bet. Make it quick. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll be thinking, uh-huh. Again with the smoke using. It's cheating. Cheating, Ray Ray. Cheating, Ray Ray. I respect it though. If I could, I would too. God damn. How'd you? Okay. Well, I mean, I guess if you have smoke, of course you can do that. She thought she couldn't have another. Oh, Ray, go make sure you get another one, and another one, and another one. Melt beneath the touch. It was absolute. Oh, he's getting that spot. He hitting that one spot. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. The pressure was gone. Uh-oh. I can bend you in a way. Well, yeah, when you got smoke to help. I mean, come on. What the hell? I wish I had. Again, I wish I had smoke. I like you like this too. I might even love. Oh, she said, I love you. Oh, shit. Now she regretting it. Oh, no, she's not. Okay. I love you, Rainier Galtung. I had to say it. And it doesn't matter if you return the. Shh. Is it love when all you really want to do is feed her sweet rolls and wrap her in a blanket and care for her so she's never wanting for anything? Yeah, that's called love. Yep, and a credulous laugh fell from her. Is it love when every god's damn thought circles back to her? Yes. Why are you fucking... There we go. Back to her when you see her and it feels like your heart beats outside of your own god's damn body. When you plot schmurder anytime another man looks her way. Scylla found herself smiling so wide her cheeks hurt. Love is too tame a word for what I feel for you, sunshine. Heart pounding in her cheeks. Heart pounding in her chest, words eluded her. Rainier Galtung smiled, that dimple carved in his cheeks. I have rendered you speechless. He teased, I suppose there's a first time for everything. You love me, she repeated, ignoring all the rest. Even after I used your full name? He kissed her softly, drawing back a moment. Only you can use it. I shall abuse this privilege, she vowed. Yeah, she's a woman after Lys's heart, I tell you that much. He kissed her more roughly, and she laughed against his mouth. But when he drew back, all traces of amusement were gone. I love you, he told her with his eyes rocking inside her. I love you too, she told him back, squeezing her hands together. Their lips crashed together, each of them pouring in their passion and love and utter adoration. Ray's movements were choppy, his tempo quickly building, and Scylla's unfulfilled pleasure from earlier barreled back into her. The tension built to dizzying levels, and then she was arching, undilated in wave after wave of exquisite sensation. The pleasure ebbed and pulsed until it had reached all through her. Above her, Ray made a guttural sound, bearing his nose against her neck as he found his own release. They lay in a tangle, twitching with aftershock as they tried to catch their breaths. After a long moment, Ray pushed himself up, then blinked. He rolled his lips together and said, trying to suppress a smile, "What?" Scylla asked. "Your hair," Ray laughed thoroughly. "It's certainly tangled." Scylla patted her mangled hair, a smile spread wide as she stared up at the men she loved. "Can you apply a treatment of bear grease to it later?" She made to pull him back down for another kiss, but Ray jerked back a sudden scratching sound. What? In the span of a heartbeat, Ray had leapt from the bed, retrieved his sword, and was striding, bare-ass, to the source of the sound. Scylla scrambled after him, wobbly as a newborn fawn. She got the weak legs as she pulled the furrow around her shoulders. Ray hauled the curtain back, and together they stared at the pair of beady black eyes. What the fuck? Blackhawks, murmured Scylla, peering through the glass. Her heart pounded as she tried to seek meaning from the bird's presence. But without the god of chaos lurking in her blood, it seemed rather ominous. Ray reached for the window opening, lifted his sword, but she placed a hand on his wrist. Wait, said Scylla, stepping closer. The hawk scraped its yellow beak along the glass, and for the first time Scylla realized the offering plate was empty. It's only hungry. She felt Ray's incredulous stare as she padded to the table, where its leavings for the evening meal rested. Scylla picked up a plate and carried it to the window. After hauling the pane open, she offered the leftover roast chicken leg to the bird. The hawk snatched it with its razor-sharp beak, and with a soft, throaty sound, took to the skies. Scylla turned back to Ray, then shrugged. Rainier Galtung shook his beautiful head. Only you could tame the god's dam's herald of death. Scylla shrugged and set the plate aside. I suppose I'm used to befriending the surliest of beings. His brow shot down, and he leveled her with the fiercest axe eyes. Come on, Rainier, Scylla cooed, sauntering toward the bed. bring that glare back to the furs. Nice. All right, 39. I don't even remember. I think we were 2, and then the 2 goals. Ray the Brad Tamer. That's funny. That's funny. What do we got? We got some honey pots. Let's go. And then we get some. Facts, Q. Facts. It's oh man, and honey's like a good sweetener too. Oh, what do we got? We got some more. We got DW's favorite. What was what there, love? Oh, made another fire heart. Okay, okay. All right. Let's get into it. Chapter 69. Here we go. Hecla battled Evan's hand away from where it squeezed her thigh under the feasting table, then winced as pain tinged from her ribs. Evan's gaze whipped her away, and she felt him assessing her with concern. "I'm fine, Hawkinson," she muttered, breathing through the pain. "My broken ribs are healing." It was true. With diligent application of Sigrun's ointment each day following the battle on the hearthwood, her ribs were well on to the mend. Still, it would be several weeks before they were truly healed. As for the prosthetic arm, well, Hecla had pulled it from Gaj's fangs to find it mangled beyond repair. It was silly, she supposed, to grow attached to a non-living thing, but this arm had saved her life on multiple occasions. Oh, you're right. The Avs just scored. We got one more. Let's go. All right. And she had been a little settlement on this demise. Hecla had buried it in the hearthwood with a murmur word of thanks. Now a sleeve hung empty as she waited till the tailor finished the crafting of the new prosthetic arm. With his strange textile manipulating magic, the tailor's promise of extra sharp parts and a new tweak had done much to assuage Hecla's dismay at the loss of her old one. Did they score again? Uh-oh. Up. You got two. You got two. Avs just scored again. Avs just scored again. You got 2 now at the end, plus whatever you earn. You started at 40. So okay, yep, gotcha. All right. Hecla's dismay at the loss of her old one. Evan was also healing up rather nicely, though the man had milked his injury for all it was worth. From making Axe Eyes fetch his ale to asking Hecla to adjust his blanket, he'd become a thorn in everyone's side. Though a part of her itched to defy his ridiculous request, another part couldn't bear to have him suffer. And so, thus far, she begrudgingly relented. Though she felt Evan's smoldering looks, Hecla had managed to extract herself from conversation before he could bring up their interrupted kiss. Deep inside, she knew everything had changed on that riverbank, even if she wasn't ready to admit it. You can use those claws of yours all you wish, Evan said. Can't you tell I'm not going anywhere? She had time. He wouldn't rush her, and the thought made nervous flutters erupt lowly in her belly. She did not know what this was, what they were, but for the time being, that was all right. When Evan had insisted she joined him in House Hawkins' seat of honor, Hecla had nearly declined, but the curl of Jarl Hawkins' lips had made up her mind for her. It was clearly Evan's father's thoughts of her terrible match for his son, and something about this had rankled Hecla enough that she'd taken the damned chair. Now Hecla sat with Evan on her left, Gunnar on her right. She should feel on guard seated between the pair, and yet a casual sort of acceptance had settled between them. Of course, it could be the black-haired beauty on Gunnar's right who made the seating arrangement tolerable. Kaja, the woman, had introduced herself before laughing at each of Gunnar's horrible puns. Evan's former betrothed Liv sat at the far end of the table laughing with Rooney, and Hecla found herself smiling at the pair. It was strange to see different worlds colliding, and even stranger to be done with the job in history, when it had been her solitary focus for so long. Hecla still had nightmares of the mist swarming her, of a giant spider looming over her. It was jarring to go from the horrors of the western woods to the fineries of Ashfall, to be seated among the most powerful jarls in the north, though. That she could get used to. Evan's hand slid over her thigh, squeezing once more, and Hecla turned toward him, blinking as slowly as she could. Your recovery, she drawled, has been miraculous. A cocky grin spread across Evan's face, and despite her good sense, Hecla's insides frolicked at the sight. You healed me with your divine beauty. Hecla's boot came down on Evan's foot before he could say more. You spend too much time with that Thrand longsword. Thrand is so underrated. We love me some Thrand. Evan chuckled, but their bantering was cut short at the double oak doors of the council chamber swung inward. Everyone stood as Scylla flounced in. She was clad in vibrant emerald dresses, golden embroidery glinting in the torchlight, though Hecla's lips curved in a smile as she noted the battle belt strapped at her friend's hips. Besides her, Ray strode in, his gaze scraping over every inch of the room. Even on alert, Axe-Eyes was, but Hecla had never seen him more protective than when Scylla was by his side. Next came Saga Volsic, her blonde hair in soft contrast against the black gown she wore. Hecla's gaze landed on the back of Saga's hand, tapping against her husband's arm. In an even rhythm, Hecla scowled at the burn marks she found, snarling bare branded under the back of Saga's hands. A pitiful and secure man had done this. Hecla knew that in an instant. She made plans to discover the culprit's identity. Yeah, well, he's been taken care of, Hecla. That is okay. Saga's husband was certainly a fine-looking warrior, and their entry was met with applause. Days now, Saga had been holed up in her chambers with Scylla, and the sisters got to know each other. But her absence had caused whispers to the float of the fortress, some claiming that Saga was not real, that she was only a ploy to unite the North. Hecla couldn't help but smile at the adoration written plainly on Scylla's face as she and her sister took their seats at the head of the table. Cup bearers swirled into the room with jugs of ale. "Let us raise our cups," said Scylla brightly, "to the return of the Volsic's heir, daughter of King Yarden and Queen Selva, sister of Scylla." Saga cleared her throat and sent her sister a look that seemed to say, "On with it." Oh, that would have been a great fight. Hecla and Magnus, I'd have paid to see that one. "Let us raise our cups to my sister," said Scylla. The room did just that. Cups and goblets were raised, the joy of Saga's return so great it felt in the air, and then they drank. Scylla grimaced as she took a sip, and then set her cup down and faced the room. "As you've heard," she said, voice rising above the chatter, "thanks to the brave warriors who joined our cause, we were successful in the Heartwood. The leech was defeated, the infectious tree destroyed, and the deep roots in the grove have been fortified by the Forest Maiden. We continue to monitor the Hardja trees, but with the Forest Maiden bolstering magic, it is unlikely that another leech should be able to enter through their deep roots. My mother's bargain with Merrick was broken. She looked at her sister, and the most unexpected gift has been granted to us. Not only has Saga returned to Isildur, but she brought someone with her." Scylla gestured to the green-eyed man before she could say more. Saga pushed to her feet. Scylla blinked and sat down. her expression faltering just 1 second. Now the question is okay, I have a question. She's married to the king of the when he becomes the heir over there, is she gonna rule both lands? Is she gonna let how are they gonna split up the property? How are we splitting up the property when they all get married? That's how I want to know. That's all I want to know. Prenuptial agreements. I want to know for lawyer purposes. Not that they're gonna get divorced, but just I want to know how we're splitting up the 2 continents. Anyway, my bad. Allow me to present my husband, said Saga. Her voice was slightly deeper and perhaps a little more stern than Scylla's. Meet Cassandra Ruick, heir to the throne of Zagaria. See what I mean? Like, is the fucking, like... Whispers rippled through the room. Curiosity brightened the Jarl's eyes. As you know, continued Saga, King Ivar's fleet sailed for Zagaria and laid siege to the city of Krovograd. He succeeded in nothing but uniting the Zagarian clan... the Sagarians against him. Now we've brought a large warband to Isildur along with a cavalry of winged horses and 2 boatloads of grains. At first there was silence and stunned disbelief, but as Cassandra Ruick nodded in agreement, those in presence seemed to finally understand. Support, swords, and airborne cavalry. Still, it was perhaps the mention of grain that drew cries of relief around the table. This aid comes from Zagaria with the request, Saga continued over the chatter. Together we turn our sights on Sunavik. Saga glanced at her sister, and Scylla's expression held at the moment of doubt as she slowly rose to her feet. Scylla cleared her throat, then spoke to those present. Queen Signy has schemes beyond those of her husband. She's rounded up and experimented on the Galdra, has set Lady Tala against me, and I believe she gathers forces at a place called Rooksgard. Scylla paused, her brows frowning. When we went to draw answers from Tala, we found her dead in her prison cell. Her corpse, Scylla nose wrinkled, was swarming with wasps. This must be Signy's doing. Saga's gaze hardened at the pickle as she picked up the thread. Too long, she said, have Signy and Ivar sat on our stolen thrones. Too long have they persecuted our people for the gods they worship, for being born with Galdra flowing in their veins. It is time, concluded Saga, that we take back our kingdom. A cheer rose, Jarls standing and bashing their fists on the tables. The energy in the room was palpable, impossible to resist. Soon Hekla was on her feet, hooting in agreement. Hootin', hollering, Hekla, let's go. Scylla raised a hand and the room gradually quieted. But we have much to accomplish, and many hurdles before us. Though we've won some small victories against the god of chaos, there is more for us to do. We must find this place called Rooksgard and discover Merrick's plan. We must keep vigilant. And we must, under all circumstances, ready ourselves for the very real possibility of Rook. Once, long ago, our ancestors sheltered in the caves behind Ashfall. I propose that we ready them, should we need them once more. Sillisglade said to Evan's older brother. Akin Harkinson has agreed to take on the enormous task. Saga's expression seemed to sharpen as she glanced between Attil and his younger sister, and Hekla had an inkling that she hadn't been privy to this part of the plan. We must gather our troops, Saga cut in. We must assemble our allies. Surely there are Jarls to the south who will join our cause. Saga looked around the table. Her gaze lingered on each man in turn. I'll need you to contact your allies and friends. We need every warrior willing and able to chance at defeating the Urkins. Already Ivar's father fleet has sailed from Norvaland. They shall arrive any day. We need to be cunning if we wish to defeat them. But it is more than mere cunning we'll need. At those at the table nodded in agreement, their gazes turning to Scylla as she picked up where her sister had left off. The Urkins believe in individual glory, said Scylla. They believe a hero is the one who spills the most blood on the battlefield. I am ready to dispel such thoughts amongst our warband, to prove that unity is a far greater weapon. Were it not for my sister's bravery, I'd have fallen to Merrick in the western woods. Were it not to Hekla's teaching, I'd have not escaped the Clenary. Were it not for Ray, I'd have died at least 100 times by now. Pride welled in Hekla's chest, Not pride at being mentioned, but pride that she'd done something, left a mark on this world. We must use the Urkin's self-centered beliefs against them. We will harness the power of the collective. That means setting aside our differences on our own interest of a time. Because the only way we will drive the Urkins from our shores is if we will come together. But for now, Scylla, a smile wide as she gazed, we must celebrate this bright spot among the gloom we've recently faced. Let us raise another cup to the return of my sister. She raised a golden goblet, looking around the table as others did. And to those new bonds forged with the kingdom of Zagadka. Hecla raised her cup, emotion swelling in her. Scylla had done the impossible, had quelled the bickering among the Jarls, had vanquished the leash, and banished the dark god from her body. As she watched her friend tip back her cup of ale, Hecla was filled with wonder and gratitude in the process of such women. But then Scylla winced, setting the goblet down. Her gaze met Hecla's across the table, unimpressed. Still tastes like tree sap to me, said Scylla. Hecla threw her head back and laughed. The door to the meeting room slammed open, her laughter dying off abruptly. Ray and Sigrun shot to their feet. Gunnar gaped open in disbelief, and Hecla blinked hard at the gray-beard figure in the doorway. Was this a phantom vision? Surely it had to be. What other reason was he to be here? Cracky? What is old Cracky? Former leader of the Blood Axe crew staggered into his room. His face was gaunt, his hair beaded white and wild askew. His pale blue eyes held a deranged look. What is it? Ray demanded, moving along the table, reaching the former mentor just as the Cracky's knees gave out. What has happened? It's gonna be fucking Signy and that fucking chode, isn't it? Hecla joined Ray, Gunnar, and Sigrun a moment later. The four remaining members of the Blood Axe crew stared down at the once formidable leader, now thin and rambling a mess. Awaken, mumbled Cracky, disorientated. It's happening. It's awakened. What are you saying? Asked Ray, eased Cracky to the ground. Kiev is no more, said Cracky's gaze, roaming wildly from face to face. Barely escaped. When Cracky's eyes met Hecla, a chill settled in her bows. It's happened, he rasped. What happened? She asked, against the better judgment. The dragon. The room fell silent. Hecla's ears rang at Cracky's words. Surely she heard him wrongly. Surely it could not be. But Cracky spoke 4 little words that changed everything. The dragon, he said, has awoken. The dragon? We have dragons? Oh, what did you say? Oh, shit, son. We got motherfucking dragons? Oh, my Lord. All right. You got 1 for the 5, and then you get 2 for the goals for 3 spins while we talk about some dragon book. Dragons? Yellow. Honeypot, it's a Signy. What do we got? We got the pink cookie. Sad to say. No worry, Q, no worry. We understand. Thank you for stopping by. And enjoy the time with your little one. Good night, love. What do we got? We got a Riddick. this. If a certain character happens to be in this epilogue, it's going to mess up this entire book for me right now. If I have to end with that chode, it's going to mess up this entire book for me. Let's do it. The epilogue. Hey, Bobby, welcome. And Dr. Lego came back to check on us. All right, epilogue, and then we'll be done. Here we go. Ale spilled down Ivar's chin, that chode dripping into his beard. Cursing, he lifted the hem of his tunic to dab it dry, but the motion sent pain searing down his back. Oh, poor baby, got you boo-boo. Ivar bellowed, ale sloshing from his cup all down the front of his tunic. He let the cup fall, holding himself so still he scarcely breathed. Oosers bollocks, but that damnable winged horse had ruined his back. Oh, poo boo 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 boo. And though he had the very finest of healers to tend to him, Ivar swore the injury was only worsening. Could be, he supposed, that he'd ignored the prescription for bed rest and abstinence of ale. Abstinence of ale. It was absurd, of course, for the man to have even suggested such a thing. In the wake of his retreat from Zagadka, Ivar had no choice but to show strength. Besides, the Northern fleet would arrive any day, and Ivar could not show any hint of weakness to King Harald, though his father was nearing his 7th decade. Damn, 70. He'd yet to show any signs of aging, but of course his father had never withered an assassination attempt, nor encountered an aerial cavalry of monstrous winged horses. My daddy, my daddy! Loath though he was to admit it, the other reason Ivar avoided bed rest was that he would only feed Signy's ego. Already her gloating looks were impossible to bear, each one seeming to say, I told you to wait for your father. Excuse me, Ivar ground his teeth at the thought of it. The pain of his back dulled with each passing heartbeat until it finally bearable to move. Ivar gingerly climbed from his chair and retrieved his empty cup while cursing himself for sending his cupbearer away. He simply couldn't bear the humiliation for anyone else seeing him like this. Ivar refilled his cup with ale and lost himself to his thoughts. Excuse me. Curse those Zagadkians, and curse his former foster daughter. When Saga had stood before him in Zagadkian soil, he'd read the surrender plan on her face. But that horse, that goddamn cursed abomination of a creature had come from nowhere, lashing out with those iron hooves. They're iron! Fucking him up! TikTok entertainment purposes is right there. His back twinged with remembrance of pain. Ivar's fist clenched around his cup. He'd been far too merciful when Saga had been caught kissing that wretched Zagadkian in the gardens. And what was wrong with Ivar's mercy? An attempt on his life? To think how near Ivar Ironheart had come to death in the explosion of the great hall. What a shame it would have wrought to not die into battle. Oh, he didn't want to get into your Wahawa, baby. Ursa might not have well denied his entry into the sacred forest. Oh, okay. Sacred forest. Oh, same. No matter. Saga could hide behind the wooden wall of Hrovgad and fall like the rest of them. The Northern fleet would arrive. They'd rally, storm Zagadka, and then Ivar would grind each and every feral Zagadkian into the ground and claim their isle. Probably not. The door to his chamber... son of a bitch, I changed the font size. What am I doing? What are we doing here? The fuck is happening, Wise? What are we doing? Thank you. What the fuck? Jiminy Crippet. Okay, where was I? Arrived, they'd rally, storms of guard. Okay, and Ivar would grind each and every pharaoh into the ground and claim their isle. The door to his chamber scraped open, and Ivar whirled and hissed. It was Eldrin, the favored concubine, who spunked through the door. My king, she purred. Ivar exhaled, trying to wipe any lingering trace of pain from his face. I didn't summon you, he grumbled, turning away. Ivar drained the contents of his cup in one gulp, then set it down on the table roughly. It had been several days, said Eldrin. I missed you. In his mind's eye, Ivar saw the low cut of Eldrin's gown, showcasing the ample swelling of her bosom. He hadn't called for her, but Ivar was not the one to let opportunity pass him by. Bring the wine, he ordered, settling under the bed with one whence she'd have to ride him carefully, enough to be able to walk for days. Yes, my king, Ivar's moods were lifting already. With the sweet disposition of sweet nature, Eldrin had quickly become his favorite, and while his other concubines pouted for jewels and fine gowns, not his Eldrin. There were no games of the mind with this one, no hurt feelings when he sent her away. She was even and true, so willing to do whatever he demanded. Eldrin set the wine pitcher and the pair of goblets down. Unbind your hair, Ivar ordered. Unable to take his eyes off Eldrin, she worked her blonde tresses free from the braids. Dress! She blinked at him with long lashes, sliding her gown off one shoulder then the other. All the blood in Ivar's body rushed south, bricked, and the dress slid down her waist, held in place by only 2 fastenings at her hip. Belt. Eldrin released the belt, then the silk puddled on the ground around her. Stepped towards him, long blonde hair covering her body form from his view. Her gaze landed on the pulse of the base of her throat, hammering with curiosity, with curious intensity. And then everything happened too quickly for Ivar to follow. Eldrin was upon him, a blade slashing towards his chest with impossible speed. With a shout, Ivar's hand shot up, pain biting into his palms as he caught the blade before it could pierce his heart. But Eldrin moved with inhuman speed, had already drawn a second blade from Erse knowing where. Ivar jerked away, but the blade plunged deep into his shoulder. He bellowed, rolling onto the woman and diving his fist forward. But rather her head. He hit the empty blanket, and Ivar cried out in pain, pierced his side. Ursur's flaming paw! How was this woman able to move with such speed? Guards! He shouted, lunging at Eldrin, who leapt from the bed. Dagger sang through the air, each aimed directly at his heart. Ivar ducked and dodged, his body an inferno of pain. A growl built in his throat as she shouted for his guards again. Where in Usur's name were they? Ivar barreled at Eldrin, but she dodged him again with that impossible speed. Momentum carried her to the wall, but she kicked off it, sailing back through the air toward him. Ivar's warrior senses had caught up with him and ducked low. Catching her leg, he slammed Eldrin to the ground, satisfaction welling in his chest as she momentarily stunned. Who sent you? He demanded, bringing his face low to hers. But Eldrin swung her head forward, her forearm crashing into the nose with a staring force. At this vision wavered, Ivar's grip on Eldrin loosening, and she scrambled free. He whirled in time to see her launch into the bed, retrieving a fallen dagger. Ivar had never witnessed speed like this. Not since. No, he growled, ducked beneath the flying dagger. Images filled in mind's eye of a battlefield 17 years ago. King Yarten's warriors moved with unnatural speed. Harfoot. Ivar picked up a fallen chair, batting another flying dagger out of the air. You goddamned Harfoot! He growled, charging at Eldrin, wielding a chair. You are Galdra? Ah, you've been banging a Galdra, you little bitch! Ha! TikTok entertainment purposes only. These are fictional characters. Ivar's blood ran cold as the future and the weaver foretold to him so many years ago rang in his ears. You will fall by Galdra's hands, the thought he momentarily dizzling by Eldrin to give a chance to evade him. She kicked off the enormous wooden headboard, striking Ivar's right side. He staggered but managed to seize the woman by the neck. With a roar, Ivar shoved against the wall so hard that bones snapped. The stones rattled. Who sent you? He bellowed, spittle landing on Eldrin's face. Her lifeless face. Ivar cursed, realizing he'd get no answers. He'd broken her neck. He released Eldrin, and she crumbled to the floor. Lips splayed to the odds. Pain surged suddenly from all over Ivar's body. Back, shoulder, palm, sides. He pulled the dagger free from his shoulder with a grunt, then paused, blinked at the hilt protruded from between his ribs. For a moment, Ivar simply stared, dumbfounded. He knew from years of battlefield experience that he could not pull this dagger free himself. A healer would have to do it. Guards! He bellowed before releasing a foul string of curses. He was going to have them all bound and whipped, publicly humiliated for their failing. Ivar staggered to the bed, snatched a goblet of wine from the table, tossing it back. The door scraped open. and Ivar's pulses leapt. Darling, his wife striding towards him. Oh, she ain't gonna do shit. I heard your shouts. Where are your guards? Oh, with her cream-colored gown and white gold hair. Signy's Galdry? No, the Galdry killed him. She's just gonna pull the dagger out. Signy looked like a sprite drifting toward him. Lights danced in Ivar's vision. The pain now so great he didn't know where it started and ended. Stabbed, he grunted. Needed healer. Ivar gasped with the wall of pain slammed into him. Yes, darling, Signy, his shield maiden here to protect him. She eased him onto the bed, cooed softly as she swept her hair back from his brow. Signy's blue eyes met his, and Ivar felt a wave of tenderness. That's not tenderness toward his wife. She was the mother of his children. Doesn't mean shit. A queen who stood by him despite all the shortcomings because she didn't want to die. Ivar knew he hadn't been the best husband. You're a piece of shit. Perhaps he would try harder. No, you won't. You'll be dead. A shame, said Signy, that you killed dear Eldrin. It's hard to find such dutiful followers. As her words landed, Signy's hand curled around the hilt of her dagger. No, Ivar wheezed. The queen's lips curved up into a smile, and she yanked the dagger free. Shocked and confused, and utter panic assaulted Ivar as his life blood rushed out of him. But the delight dancing in his wife's eyes told Ivar enough. He tried to shout, tried to form words. Shh. Ooh, I almost missed a TikTok puzzle. Oh, I'm missing the hang on. I almost missed a TikTok puzzle. I had a minute left. Ooh, I had a minute left on the TikTok puzzle. Ooh, I almost fucked that one up, y'all. I almost fucked that up. Okay, sorry. She tried. Okay, shh, darling, Signy said with a demure smile, soothing another lock from his brow. Outrage and loathing battled within Ivar, all while the lights in his vision grew and spread, gobbling together. Signy leaned down, pressed a kiss to his cheek. She hovered above him, those glacial blue eyes steadying his face. Ivar wanted to reach out, wrap his hands around her neck, snap it as he'd done to Eldrin, but all he could manage was a feeble flap of his hands. Hush now, darling, whispered Signy. I want to watch as the light fades from your eyes. Oh, poor Ivar, go bye-bye. Good I don't want it to be over though. Now I gotta wait. Now we gotta wait. Such a bummer. I don't want to wait. Is there another book? It's bullshit. To Ivar. She said to Ivar. Next year. I'm just making sure there's nothing else in this. All right, there's nothing else. All right. Wow. So we're done. Fuck. Thank you, P. Yes. Great story. Amazing story. 100%. Loved it. Yes. Great story. Initial thoughts. I know people are like, everything you read, why is it 5? No, it's a fucking 5. Like I made five videos a day on this. Seriously, for me, it's a 5. I enjoyed it that much where I kept making videos. I love the characters. I loved it. I will tell you what. I will say this much. How do I word this? How do I word this? Cass is still behind Rune. That's how I say it. Cass is still behind Rune. He's close, but he's still behind Rune. He's still behind Rune. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Cass is still by. He's one hell of a. I tell you what, for non-main characters, okay, everybody remembers, when I say Rune Dannon is my favorite, okay, listen, I understand that Rowan is the blueprint. Rowan is the prototype. Rowan Rowan is who we. Yes, I get it. I get it. The Thorians and all the. I get it. But those are main. Okay, Rune is a supporting character for me. He's number one, and then Cass, and then Cassian. Now, with that being said, Cass is above Cassian. Cassander is above Cassian. But depending on what Cassian does, that could change. Just so we know. Just so we know. But right now, that's how we go for them. But anyway, I will say this much. Yes, the book was 5 out of 5. Series was 5 out of 5. I think when when recommending this book, the series to people, I think one thing we have to, and I have to make sure I say this the right way, because I don't want to I'm not comparing it to ACOTAR, but Road of Bones and ACOTAR are kind of similar. They set up the world, but then book 2 comes up and you get more world building. I don't think a lot of people might expect that. So I think the double set, and then you still get these new characters with the whole major storyline. It comes in. I just think maybe like, wait, what? I thought we just had it where we're rolling and then we stop. I think that might get a few people. So I think when we recommend this book, we just got to let them know, hey, the first book, you're going to get a story, meet a bunch of people. Then book 2, we're going to build on that and meet more people that play into the bigger role. I think that's how I have to describe it to people. But otherwise, one hell of a fucking series. Viking dark fantasy with a couple spicy scenes. Fucking excellent. Excellent. I like Cass, but he just kidnapped her. Okay, we're just kidnapping. It's the same kidnapping. Yeah, we're just gonna kidnap her, chain her up in a bed. No worries. It's okay. It's okay. Really? I get it. You're probably right though. I mean, the bang to the leg. I mean, Okay. All right. With that being said, where are we at? Okay, 55. You get 2 wheel spins, and then you get a tour. I don't mind a good kidnapping. As long as he looks like Cass, nobody minds a good kidnapping. We got to put the particulars on it. With certain kind of men, it's fun. With other kind of, it's kind of fucking creepy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Oh, Carter didn't show up. I was hoping he was going to show up tonight. He didn't get to show up. All right, what do we got? Ooh. Oh, is that? Oh, guys, is it dark blue or light blue? Yeah, there we go. Whoa. I don't mind. Cassian Ray Ruin. Ray's the main character. Like, I consider Ray is in a different group. Ray's in a different group to me. Ray to me, Ray gets the You're right. I can no longer put Cass in the same group as Rune. Cass has to go with Rowan and Dorian in that group. And Ray too. It's Ray, Cass, Dory. Yeah, it's a different group. All right. Wow.
Rune Danon, Crown Prince of the Valbaran Fae.
So, I will say, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a top. You know, we don't have 10 characters. I don't think I have 10 characters to do a top 10. Yeah. You know what I mean? What is that one? Witchlings. have to argue. I'm sorry. I understand Chael goes there, but I think that is Yenri's story. That's my Tower of Dawn. Oh, I gotta spin. Shit. Ow, and then I hit the mic. I'm broke today, folks. All right. Ooh, we got lucky. We got lucky. Got the honey pot. I guess. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if we go in the original 3, but at the end, she becomes a major player. Yeah. Yeah. Fair. I'll agree. I'll agree. All right. And then we're going to do this one, and then we'll... What do we got? Oh, chili pepper! We like to play with fire. Oh, Carrying. Carrying is from the Quicksilver series, right? So, okay. So, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know how the timing would go. I don't know the timing, but we've got Alchemize next, and then after that, we're doing Project Hail Mary, and then from there, we should be going, I believe that will be the timeline to hit Akatar, and then Quicksilver, and then Akatar, right? That's how we basically hitting this year up, with maybe 1 or 2 small ones in between, I believe. I think that's what we got going on. Ah, the poet. I see you trying to sneak that one in there. Hey, Minnie Wise, I see you joining. It's actually bedtime, my love. I'm about to come in there and put you to bed. We only got like 9 more days of school, kiddo. Okay, well, we're gonna play it by ear. So we're gonna play, but okay, but that's the good, and then we'll probably put some singles in there. How many weeks is Akatar? I'm not sure exactly how many weeks it got broken down into, but we start August, and I believe we finish before the release of the 3rd book of Quicksilver, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be like boom, bada boom. We might have like a day or 2 in between or something. Yeah. So yeah, 3rd. So yeah, we'll be finishing Agatar like pretty soon. So we might have like a short book before that one, but that should be it. But anyway, yeah, tomorrow okay. So the plan is, just so everybody knows the plan. So tomorrow I will get these videos posted. And then Wednesday I will post my reviews. I don't think I'll have a top 10. I'll do whatever characters I have, and I'll do my reviews in the character books. And then we will get started with Alchemize live Wednesday night. That is the plan. So, like I said, when it comes to Alchemize, when we do our reading, we're just going to read from 8 to 10, from 8:30 to 10:30. And then when I do my videos, it may be 1 chapter, might be 2, might be 5. We're just going to play with where it goes because of the page length. All right, everybody. Wow. The reread for Agatar's 1 to 5 is 9 weeks. Okay, 9 weeks. Nice. So just over 2 months. Sweet. So, alrighty, folks. With that being said, I want to appreciate coming out and hanging out with us tonight and finishing up the Dawn of the North series. I'm actually going to be sad we're done with it. It's kind of sad. I was really getting into those characters. All right. Anyway, folks, with that being said, until next time, have a great night. We love you. What? No. I'm waiting. Am I waiting? Oh, I thought you said something. All right. Have a good one, folks.